thought I heard it again. I didn't press anything. You saw it, the screen, nothing changed. That's the streaming platform just playing about with itself. But what's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. We've got another exciting episode ahead of ourselves. Today, reports are coming out relating to Adi Hutter. Contrasting reports, I'll be honest, but we're going to talk through that. Is he set to become our next manager? That's according to certain reports. Also, Killian Phillips is doing well out on loan, but Palace's rivals are interested in signing him on a permanent deal. We've got that covered, and also Flamingo star also on the radar of the club. And lastly, we're going to end it off with the latest on Wilf. As always, if you do enjoy it, smash the like button, subscribe. Let's keep it going, people. Let's keep the channel growing. As always, leave down your comments in the comment section as well. T, there's a lot there to cover, man. A lot there to cover. We haven't started the show. But how you feeling, man? How you feeling about today's reports? Even before we go into it, of course, we had a little chat about it. There's a variety. There's transfer. There's manager talk. It's a bit of an exciting one. But with the manager talk, I mean, before we talk about Hutter, when do you realistically want it to be done and sealed by? Because we haven't technically stayed up as well.
I mean, honestly, I guess from a perspective of a fan, probably sooner than later, just because you want to start to be able to have an idea of what next season is going to look like. I think for the club, sooner the better. Only because I think it'd be nice for a manager in this situation, because we know we want Roy to finish the season, right? So the sooner you hire a new manager, now the new manager is he can just focus on getting things ready for next season. He doesn't have to focus on the end of this one. You know what I mean? So he has an ability to really focus on his game plan, how he wants the summer to look, really taking a fine-tooth comb to our squad and seeing, who can play the system that they want to play, who can't, what types of guys we need to bring in. So I think from a preparation standpoint and giving us the best chance to really hit the ground running when the season begins for us in later on this year, I think sooner the better in that situation.
Yeah. All right, let's get started. Let us know, as always, in the comment section as well, what you think about these stories. I can see already a few comments about Adi Hutter, but let's start off with Adi Hutter. So there's two reports out today. So let's start off with the positive, depending on where you stand with the situation. The first report came from an Austrian outlet called, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but I think it's called the Courier. But they said the following. They said that Adi Hutter is set to be appointed Crystal Palace's next manager. The report also adds that Klaus Schmidt, who's also the current boss of an Austrian side, will join Hutter as his assistant coach. Then there was also a report from Sky Sport Austria, and they put out a tweet saying Adi Hutter will not be the new Crystal Palace manager. However, this is where it gets a bit interesting. That tweet has now been deleted from Sky Sports Austria regarding Adi Hutter. They said that he will not be Crystal Palace's next manager, but that has been deleted. The only report that still stands is a report over in Austria that Adi Hutter is set to be appointed as the next manager. Lots of hey, this man is joining us, and there's another tweet that this man is definitely not joining us. But there could be a variety of reasons for that. But what do you make of it? It seems like there are genuine talks going on. You can't just have two reports come out of thin air all of a sudden without anything going on behind the scenes. So it seems like we're pushing for it.
Yeah, I think what this situation proves is that, number one, between the reports that we're seeing now today and the reports that we've seen with Arne Slot, we're working. We're actually doing our due diligence. We're communicating with potential candidates, and we're trying to move on getting something done. So that seems like one of the things that stands out to me. The other thing is that with I would say the peculiarness of these reports, there has to be some truth to this.
There's something going on, 100%. There can't be nothing going on behind the scenes when these reports are coming out. Like, it's just so random. Why would these reports just come out on a Tuesday? No, not Tuesday, Wednesday. just randomly. Like the season hasn't ended, nothing has changed from yesterday to today.
Exactly.
It's not like we've
Exactly.
confirmed to stay up. There must be something going on. But that thing, T, I can ask. I'm gonna ask you this because there was a comment about it from Juice. I reckon the Hutter thing has been a big push from his agent, possibly. Because 1 minute it seemed like he was coming to us, then he wasn't going somewhere else. Then that tweet got deleted. So he's talking about the tweet from Sky Sports Usher being deleted. Do you think there might be a bit of agent talk as well? But then again, I don't know what other clubs.
I don't see what agent talk does right now because he's not employed. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if the whole agent talk is really going to spur any. Like, he is a viable candidate for, I'm sure, numerous jobs. So I don't know if the agent talk is necessary for where he is. I mean, people want him. You know what I mean? So I don't know if the agent piece is really what he needs or is what's a necessity for him right now. I don't think I don't think it improves anything for Hudson necessarily.
Yeah. Jude also adds Slot and Potter are my favorite options. I feel like with Potter, it may require almost a completely new squad, especially some quality wing backs. So that's potentially. With Hutter, that's the biggest question about the formation that he plays. But we'll talk about that a bit more if something further comes out. I don't want to make it Adi Hutter show alone because there's a lot of other things to talk about today that's also come out. Colin also says Cooper and Dash, etc., just not for me doing it where they are now. They don't excite me at all. So talking about potentially bringing them in, I don't think Dash will join us anyways. If it's true, he joined June the 1st, I believe. Slot suits us much better. So yeah, do you agree with that comment from BR? That Arnie Slot suits us better? I'll be honest, Arnie Slot, if I had to pick between both of them, I probably lean towards Arnie Slot due to the system that he plays. The biggest question for me, I need to look into it, is Adi Hutter persistent with his five at the back? Give him might be a second. Is it persistent with that formation? Because for me, formation, it doesn't really mean much. It's more about the philosophy. But if you're persistent with a certain set of formation, it might be easier for teams to figure you out as time goes on. Whereas if you stick with the philosophy but change the formation based on the managers, then I feel like that gives you a bit more relief rather than just sticking with the same formation. So for you, Slot or Hutter?
That's a good question. I think if we're talking about as far as the players that we already have on our team, I think Slots is probably the better fit because he's known for playing a 4-3-3. So I think we have players that slide into those positions a lot better. You know, slide in. But if we're talking about Hutter's 5 at the back, I think we have the players to some of the players to fill that out. I think the main need then would be attacking right and left wing backs because in his system he has very, very attacking wing backs, like they're goal scorers in a lot of situations. So we definitely have changes there. I think at that point we have to decide too where other players go, because it makes you think, where's Tyrick Mitchell fit in that system? Which is probably left
as well.
Yeah, which is probably like left center back, but at the same time, it's like you have guys like Richards who can step in and play in back three too. So I think it's a matter of where you see guys playing and things. But I think the more natural fit as far as our current squad will be going towards Arne Slot.
Yeah. I think Arne Slot suits some system now better than before. But yeah, T, I don't know if it's your mic that keeps touching your clothes, but it seems like that you keep every time you're talking.
Oh, sorry.
It sounds like you're farting every time you're talking, bro. So I'm just like, so I thought I'll just save you because he's not farting. I'm pretty sure he's his mic, but yeah,
definitely not.
It sounded like that. Exactly, yeah. A says whoever gets appointed, I doubt it'll be announced until the season has finished. Yeah, because well, based on what Parrish said when Vieira first got sacked, he didn't want to talk about another manager because I think we had Paddy McCarthy for the Arsenal game. So I'm pretty sure they won't announce. Maybe they might if Roy's happy with it. But yeah, you'd expect it to happen towards the end of the season rather than now. If it was going to be announced with Adi Hutter. Chait says, well, maybe it is Jake Decore. Think not getting Hutter would be good. Don't have any wing backs. Only really have Zhao at the centre back. Mark could leave anytime. Richards injury prone and Tompkins out of contract. Yeah, I think
Check
with the
your
centre back,
English
we're
is
pretty much.
amazing, bro. I thought you could barely speak English, man. Your English is
Bro, he's
amazing.
changed, bro. He's been there for a while now, man. He's improving.
Wow.
He's improving his English. But yeah, that's the big thing with Hutter. As I just said just a few seconds ago, with Arne Slot, it seemed like we got a squad that is fine with a system, but with Hutter's, 3 or 5 at the back, depending on how you
How
see
you
it.
view it, how you say
You
it.
need,
Yeah.
you need wing backs. You need wing backs. And what does it mean with, where would Elise end up playing? Because how would he approach that situation, or even the likes of Wilf if he does end up staying? There's a lot of question marks. I'm not saying that it won't work. I'm not saying I'm against it, but for me, Slot would make more sense. But Adi Hutter, it seems like there's something definitely going on behind the scenes. So hopefully sooner rather than later we'll find out. But one report saying he might be joining, other report which got deleted saying that he won't be joining. So based on a deleted report, it seems like him joining is more likely than him not joining, I guess, because that other report about him not joining got deleted. But yeah, there's lots of ifs and buts right now going on anyways. But if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. There's still a lot to talk about, trust me. We're gonna get to it in just a second. Kevin says keep Roy, gives me a safe place, H plus wisdom, like having Gondorf saying you shall not pass. Yeah, we spoke about Roy yesterday, so make sure to check that out. That Palace News episode, and also the match preview is out. So after this, go check it out as we look ahead to the Everton game. Adam says, I think we are only 3 plays off of having a team challenging for top half finish or higher. We need a right back, Wan-Bissaka, a centre midfielder, Gallagher, a striker who could score 10 to 15 goals in Ketia. Yeah, I don't think we're far off. We're not far off, but
depending on the system,
Well.
Wan-Bissaka might be a good move. But if we're playing 3 at the back, Wan-Bissaka would not be a good move.
Yeah,
I really hope people. I'm ready for people to stop talking about Conor Gallagher. It's over. Like it's over. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'll be real. I'm kind of over the Gallagher situation as well, because let's be honest, he's a system player, and now that Vieira's gone, I don't know if he'll suit the next manager's system. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's heavily a system player. That's why there was a big question mark when he did leave us, whether it would work out at Chelsea. Not because he's a bad footballer, but the system needs to fit for him. That's the thing with Conor Gallagher, mainly. Jake also says, I think Roy staying on as a mentor means there won't be anyone who's managed the Premier League much before. Yeah, I agree. We spoke about that yesterday.
Which
so
fits the profile of all the guys we're talking about right now. So
Yep. Ash says, what do you make of the reported Chelsea flash sale June 1st? Who could we realistically get? I'm going to save that, Ash, and we're going to talk about it at the end of the show. So, yeah, if you have any questions, send them through. I'll save them and we'll wrap up at the end of the show because there's still more reports to go. I'm being stuck on Adi Hart for the last 10 minutes or so. So let's move on to the second bit of news, and that is on Killian Phillips, who's killing it. He's killing it, T, over in Shrewsbury, out on loan. But according to the Football Insider, Millwall and Luton Town are chasing for the signature of Killian Phillips on a permanent deal after impressing whilst out on loan. So, T, Killian Phillips is not out of contract till 2024. Millwall and Luton, they're both after him. Well, what do you make of that?
First of all,
Millwall and Luton being after him, championship clubs. Do you think he's done enough for Shrewsbury to move to a championship club, or where do you stand with the whole situation with Killian Phillips?
Well, first of all, let's not just glance over the fact that they said Millwall's interested. Y'all can kick rocks. First of all, not having it. But I think it makes sense. I mean, obviously she's showing that he's above the level that he's playing at right now with Shrewsbury. The one thing I wouldn't want to do right now is sell him outright. I'd probably want to loan him out again maybe at a higher level in the championship, possibly after extending him, maybe giving him a few more years on his contract, and then loaning him out to the championship. I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't want to sell him directly right now because I think if you give him another year, who knows what he could do in the championship and where his value might go with that. I don't want us to sell ourselves short of either adding a really good player who could become a part of what we're doing, or a player that we could get a good fee for in the future.
So with that, can't you say that it'll go both ways? It purely depends on him signing a new contract, because as his contract is out next year, if he gets another loan move and it doesn't work out, or if it does work out, then you could end up leaving on the free. So doesn't it purely... So my question is, should he sign a new contract? Because, he's got one more year left and clubs are interested in him.
I definitely think he should. If he doesn't want to sign another one, then that's a whole nother discussion as far as do you move him? You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't want to sign another contract with us, then I think your strategy has to change with him.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think about Killian Phillips. Would you want Killian Phillips to be sold, or is it another loan move? The sticky situation with it is his contract is out in 2024, so he's got a year left, and unless we extend him, he could potentially leave on a free. So it purely depends on that, whether he wants to extend his contract at Palace, because he might want some assurances going forward, saying that, am I going to be involved in the first team? But then again, if you're Palace, can you promise him that when you don't know who your next manager is going to be? That's the funny thing with Palace. There's so many like situations where you can't have the answers for it because we just simply don't have a manager. Like, we don't know what the next manager is who's it gonna be, what system is gonna play, is he gonna rate Killian Phillips? So it makes it a bit more sticky. But let us know what you guys think in the comments section. People are talking about the Chelsea situation. We'll go back to Chelsea and who we would like to sign potentially from Chelsea. But let's move on to the next bit of news, and this is from Globo Esporte, and it's reporting that Crystal Palace is scouting Flamingo's Matheus Franca, and there is an expectation that an offer will arrive from the South Londoners. It comes after Fabrizio Romano claimed that Newcastle failed with £17.5 million bid for Franca over in January. Matheus Franca over Flamingo. First of all, I mean, let's start off with this before the player. It's not the Championship. It's not Scotland. That's a positive.
And he's playing for the best team in Brazil right now.
Yeah. And you know, he's this is the reports, as I said many times. These are the reports I want to see more often. Hopefully there is some truth to it. But of course, you there's nowhere on earth you watch Flamingo. But have you had the opportunity to look into the play a bit more?
I've actually watched them play a lot because I like Gabriel Barbosa.
There we go. This guy. I mean,
but look.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, it's very convenient for me to watch them play because of the time zone. So they play usually here around watching, Then sometimes the Premier League, because they usually play like between 5 p.m. and 8 here. So those are actually easy games for me to catch. And then having the networks that the broadcasting helps, because BN Sports is usually the ones that carries the Brazilian league. So seen them play, and talented player. The thing that interests me is the cost.
As well.
The cost is what really stands out to me. I mean, if they rebuffed Newcastle at 17.5, I don't know if we're going to want to come in with more than that.
So do you know what his release clause actually is? I'll try to bring up the actual figure, but
have not seen that. No.
Take a guess. His release clause. He has a release clause based on a report in his contract. I'll get the actual figure out.
It's either really low or it's really high. It's either really low or it's really high.
Well, go ahead. So let's see how much you rate him. How much do you think his release clause is going to be? Well, Newcastle got a £17.5 million bid rejected, so I'm going to help you there. It's not going to be anything less than
I bet it's high. I bet it's high. I bet it's probably
all right. How high are we talking? How high are we talking?
I'm going to say 100 mil. I'll say 100 mil.
Nah, it's higher than that. I think it's about 150 mil. I just have to double check about that. Something like 150, 170. I don't know why 170 is stuck in my head right now, but something crazy like that. I mean, we're not paying 170 mil. Forget about that. I mean, you could end up buying Crystal Palace for that much. 170 mil, not Matheus Franca. So I doubt we're going to pay that much for him. But then again, if 17.5 million pounds is rejected for attacking midfielder, let's be honest, attacking midfielder / left winger. Left winger is an area that we do need. I've said it, you said it as well. Regardless of if Will stays or goes, you're competing with Newcastle. I think it's going to be hard, ain't it? Like, even if there was some truth,
I mean, if they rebuffed that, like, I don't see us. Like, the thing about us when it comes to especially signing players from outside of Europe and things like that, man, if we're going to find those gym type of players, we're not going to drop more than that. Like, I don't think that's a little bit outside of our realm of possibility. Looking at that release clause, it looks like he signed a new contract until 2027, and it's 100 million euros.
Yeah, 200 million euros and 176 million pounds. That's his release clause. But I don't think no one's gonna pay for his release clause. Trust me. That's not my biggest concern. It's just funny. Look, he's also Brazil under-20 international as well. So yeah, he has represented Brazil in the youth levels. But 17.5 million pound bid getting rejected by Newcastle. Yeah. I mean, you're probably looking at least 20 to 25 million at least. And I'm just trying to think with our budget how much we got available. We spoke about that. Let's say potentially we have 30 to 50 million pound available. I'm not spending it if Wilf resigns. But it depends though. Well, let's say Wilf was to leave. Then would you change your stance on it? Then would you think about
because I think he's still too expensive for us, man. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. Like you don't get that type of release clause for no reason. Like they want big money for him, I think.
Yeah, but come on, but I just feel like that release clause is just there. God knows for what reason. I was gonna say that release clause is there, but I'm trying to how can I justify a 176 million pound release clause? What's the benefit to it? There must be something contractually or something to do with his agent, that for that release clause being there. But there's no way someone's paying 176 million pound for him, and they know that as well. I don't know why that release clause is there. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why it's there, but I doubt it's gonna be that high though. Come on, man.
I mean, if you think about it,
you have to be realistic about it.
The one kid that just got signed, I think, by Real Madrid, Endrick. How much did he go for? Like, I don't think there's no player that's going to go for more than him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then with Endrick, he's 16 years old as well. Endrick, I believe.
Yeah, his fee is going to be total 72 million euros.
For a 16-year-old, that's
for
crazy.
16, and they're saying this is the most talented dude coming out of Brazil right now, like the most talented youth coming out of Brazil. You know what I'm saying? That's 72 million, so it's probably not gonna be more than Endrick, but even then, for a player a high caliber, 17 years old, you still probably talking 40 to 50. I just don't see it happening.
I don't know. It's hard to say 40, 50. It sounds a lot, man. It's hard to say. Well, look, as I say with many of these reports, if there's any truth to it, then I'm pretty sure we can look into it a bit more. But this is the first time he's been mentioned. So that's exciting. We should actually make a list. It's our mistake. We should have made a list starting from January to the end of summer. How many players would... Unless someone wants to go back and all the videos and you got all the time to look at all the Palace news videos, go ahead. But I wonder how many players we're going to be linked.
It's a long list.
Forget about players. We've been linked with 5 or 6 managers. I mean, it's gonna be a long list. But we'll see. Newcastle bid 17.5 million pound rejected, so it won't be any cheap anyway. Let's just say that it won't be like a 5 to 10 million pound gem from South America. But still, it seems like.
And not to mention the fact that he's going to have to play somewhere else for at least a year in order to get his work permit stuff. So if we were to buy him, we probably have to send him
I don't know. I'm not too sure if that's the case though. I don't know if work permit is an issue.
Why wouldn't it be? He's coming from Brazil. It has to be.
I guess maybe the transfer fee playing a part too as well.
But he has to have doesn't he have to have a certain amount of points and all of that with playing for his country and senior appearances, things like that. We probably have to loan him out his first year to Molenbeek or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know how. I need to look into it. The thing is, we don't really sign that many South Americans.
Exactly. But every time you see other teams that are doing like Brighton, like Brighton had to do that.
See, Brighton didn't do it. See, I don't.
They did it with Mitoma. They did it with Mitoma.
But that's Mitoma. But what happened with? I need to check. What happened with Caicedo?
Caicedo got loaned out too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe potentially. Yeah. Where did Caicedo get loaned out to? Well, back to his.
I have to look.
No, he got loaned out to the Belgian club, their Belgian club.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They've been loaning guys out to Union Saint Gilio's. They loan guys out there. They got the guy that's there right now, Adingra. That's being loaned out to them.
Probably be worth 200 mil for them as well. Every time they just come back, they just get transformed.
He's tearing it up over there, Lord.
It's like they learn them out there, then they're just ready. It's like that's why
Molenbeek getting to the first division is so important for us, because then we have more of a conversation to be had with some of these guys that are trying to come over and play that might have work permit issues. It's like, hey, okay, cool, you can go play first division in Belgium for a year and then we can bring you back.
Yeah, Potentially, but we'll see. It's not confirmed that we're going to sign him anyways. I mean, that would be a worry to have or questions to be asked once we do sign him. But still interesting to think about, anyways. Whether work permit could be an issue, because honestly, I didn't think about that. But let's be honest, Newcastle interested with the money that they've got. I'll be very surprised if you manage to beat them to a player, because they're just
tough.
they're swimming.
That's tough competition.
Exactly, that's tough competition. If it was someone like, I don't know,
we got to get the guys that they don't know about.
Exactly, but they're they're gonna be another force. Well, they are another force, so it's gonna be one to worry about. Let's move on to the final bit of news, and then we'll answer any of the questions that you guys have. And that is on Wilf. We spoke about him yesterday with reports regarding a move to potentially Marseille. Reports were coming out, and today opposite reports are coming out with it. So according to Foot Marseille, the report with Wilf meeting the representatives. They're saying that it's not true. They are not negotiating Zaha's arrival at the club after someone at the club told them everything is false about those claims. So that's from Foot Marseille. So based on what we said yesterday, Foot Marseille is saying that their sources are saying that's not true with their sources at the club, and there's been no talks being held. And I saw Wilf today as well, funny enough, but not to talk to him, but yeah, I saw him today. So that report did sell us though, because of Champions League football. I'll be honest.
Exactly, but at least it got disproved in a timely fashion.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Then again, this report may also not be true. So that's the thing. It's not like it get disapproved and it's 100% true. Like that's the frustrating thing and also exciting thing. It depends on how you look at with these reports. Like we don't know if it was, if this report is true or not. Even with Adi Hutter, I mean, 2 reports came out on the same day that we literally spoke about at the start of the show. One is saying he's on the verge of joining or he's set to join. The other saying he's not going to join, and then afterwards they deleted it. So there's always going to be contrasting reports depending on where you look at things. But let's go through some of the questions and then we'll wrap it up. If you guys are enjoying the show, if you can make sure to leave a like, that'd be much appreciated. It takes a second of your time. What one should we start with? Should we start with Chelsea?
Sure.
So there was a question from Ash at the start of the show, and he said, what do you make of the reported Chelsea flash sale June 1st? Who could we realistically get over there? I'll start off. Look, Gallagher's going to be the one that people are going to talk about, right? Because we know what he can offer. But so Gallagher potentially, if the club still want Gallagher, depending on who the next manager is. Loftus-Cheek, I've
that's a good shot.
I've not like lost all hope in him. I feel like there's a player there, man. I feel like there's a player there as like a number 8. He's had a few injuries, but I would have even liked him under Vieira out on loan to help out, with that number 8 role. I think he's physical. I think we saw it in the FA Cup semi-final. He can score a goal as well. And just like with certain other players, once they come down to Palace, and we saw Loftus-Cheek at Palace, expectations are lower, you get more game time, and you start kicking on and you start playing much better football. So Loftus-Cheek for me, Gallagher, and another striker. I'm just trying to think about it. I don't think they'll sell him, but Broja, potentially, before his injury.
I think they could sell him. I think they could sell him. I just don't think we could afford him.
Yeah. Who else? So that's probably my 3 right now. Mine is, top of my head.
If I could pick the one that I would want more than anyone without any without any variables of cost, it'd probably be Noni Madueke. South London kid. He's not even making the squad right now.
Yeah, but
both
RT
Prim and in the Champions League. I'd love him. I know it'd probably be a loan. I know it'd be a loan.
Yeah, but he's gonna go back though, ain't he? They're not gonna sell him to us.
I don't know.
Come on, T. Come on. Let's be. Come on. They're not gonna sell him to us. If he comes to us and if he destroys it, they're not selling him to us.
He's not playing at all. Like he's not making the squad.
Oh, we know the memo though. That happened with Loftus-Cheek. That happened with Gallagher as well. We know the memo with Chelsea.
Hurt. When Loftus-Cheek was healthy, a lot of times he was in the squad though.
Yeah, but then what happened though? What happened after that? He played at Palace, then he went back. Gallagher, he played at Palace, then he went back.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, with my choice, it was without any type of, variables involved. Now,
all right. Yeah,
If it
well,
was to
no
be,
variables involved, 100%. There's a few other players that you can probably mention as well. But I'm just trying to think. Like, I'm tired of loaning players from Chelsea for them to go back to Chelsea.
I think that the choice realistically for me would either be Ruben Loftus-Cheek or Malang Sarr.
Yeah,
I don't think they want. I don't think they
well.
want. I don't think they want Malang Sarr anymore.
Yeah. Well, look, Nuno, Nuni, Madueke, he signed for around £29 million, so £30 million. I just, trust me, I would love him at Palace.
Oh, Hudson-Odoi is another good shout. I forgot about him.
Yeah, Hudson-Odoi. But for me, the contract situation with him, because he seemed like he's on higher wages. That's the, I don't know if he'll be.
Absolutely.
He seemed like he's on good money, so I don't know if he'll be willing to pay that. That's why Hudson-Odoi is a bit tricky. But yeah, with Madueke, like £30 million they're signing for. If we get him out on loan, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of the same. We've seen how this movie plays out.
But what if we get him on loan? But what if we get him on loan and we can get a buy option for like between 22 and 25? I take that for Noni, dude. I take that for him.
Yeah, 100. Well, we were linked with him. Don't you remember? There were times we were linked with him when he was at.
he used to be with us. He got a lot of love for us. So
yeah. So we were linked with him once again. I mean, who let him go? Question needs to be asked there. Who let him go?
He was like a 9-year-old.
Still, question needs to be asked. He didn't spot the prospect. He didn't spot the prospect. He didn't know that he's going to be a £30 million player at the age of 9.
Whose fault?
Yeah, exactly. Someone else's fault. Someone's at the club. They should get sacked. No, I'm only joking. But yeah, with an option to buy, 100%, I've got no problem with that. No problem at all. But then again, it probably depends on the next manager if they're rating. But I just know Chelsea team. Come on, man. We just know how it goes. There's never an option to buy with them. It's just always alone. Always alone. Hey,
we not dealing with this. This ain't the same Chelsea that we used to deal with back then.
Yeah. To be fair, they don't know what they're doing.
They ain't got the lady that was just overpricing everybody. More,
and it seems like they don't know what they're doing as well. So that probably helps our cause as well. In the short term. But yeah. Let's talk about a next set of questions. So Boy that says thoughts on Darren Powell, new under 21s manager. So what do you think about Paddy McCarthy? Like, what happens with him? That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to know, because I thought when it all was said and done, the reason they brought in Roy was to groom Paddy. That was my first thought. When they didn't decide to just give Paddy the reins for the rest of the season, they decided to bring in Roy. I was like, okay, and they were going to keep Paddy on his staff. I was like, Roy's going to groom him, and they're going to try to give the job to Paddy. That was my first thought. So
sorry, but every time you say groom him,
still could be
like it's catching me off
excuse
guard.
me. Sorry. Train him, tutor him, mentor him, whatever you want to say.
Sorry, I just had to intervene. The way you keep just saying Roy's going to groom him.
No pedo.
I'm just
No pedo.
Roy's gonna train him. Yeah, but look, but then again, it's just I wonder if it's a case of like Sean Derry. Like, does it stay along? Does it become a first team coach now, and the next manager just has
because like if you bring in a new manager, he might want to bring in his own people.
Yeah, but when you like go out with your friends and you got a little brother and your mom's like, oh, your little brother has to come with you. Is it just a case of like Paddy McCarthy just has to stick around regardless? That'd be terrible. Is that the course?
He's like, hey man, you can have a job, but Paddy's gonna be here. I don't know. I don't know if I like that, man. I don't know.
And also, by the way, so what would happen with Darren Powell? Like, would we say, all right, you had your moment under 21s, like Paddy McCarthy's now back? Like, it's that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of questions.
I don't think.
I wonder what they're thinking about the whole situation.
Yeah, I don't think you make a retroactive move like that just because of the fact that it affects too many people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost in effect it becomes a demotion for Paddy, and then it becomes another demotion for Darren Powell, while also saying, hey, it's just the fact that we don't believe in either of y'all, so go back to where you started. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like I think you have a better potential chance of losing them if you try to do that than them being okay with that too. So
yeah. But I also said Jacob Brand next season. It depends on preseason with a few of these players, right?
Yeah. It definitely depends on preseason, and then I was saying earlier, I was talking on Twitter about this because I made a post actually about Jacob Brand. If Molenbeek gets to the Jupiler Pro League, man, I wouldn't be upset at all to send him back there to where he can get major minutes in a top flight league. You know, and then, you know, but like I said, like you said, it very much depends on how we look in the summer, how he looks in the summer, because, you know, the idea of keeping him maybe to replace kind of like a James Tompkins is like that fourth center back. I know people are like, hey, he's not going to get to play that much. I get that. But you got Chris Richards in front of you who has injury history. So immediately my thought is, yeah, he'll get a chance to play. You know what I mean? Just because of that piece. Not to mention the fact that, God forbid, we have to get rid of or we end up losing somebody like Gahey or Anderson in the summer. So, I mean, I guess it just all really depends, you know. But I definitely think he's going to have his chance. Let me just say that.
Yeah, and also Tompkins is leaving. He could be the Tompkins replacement. But then again, would you want him to be like fourth choice centre back, fifth choice centre back?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I think naturally you would think, yeah, you don't want him to be fourth choice because he won't get a lot of time to play. But, you know, Chris Richards has not shown a good record as far as being healthy and being available. So that immediately could catapult O'Brien into a situation where he's making match day squads and possibly seeing some time in there. You know what I mean? But if I had the choice of him being our fourth choice center back or playing and starting for Molenbeek in the first division of Belgium, I'd want him in Belgium. That's just me, though.
Yeah, no, I hear where you're coming from. Let us know what you guys think as well. We got Everton fan here, Richard, and even a worried Everton fan. For the Everton preview, we've released it. If you're an Everton fan, I probably wouldn't suggest that you watch it because we speak about your club from a Palace perspective, and it is a bit of a worrying time. But saying that, T, just like a little promotion for the Everton preview. Calvert Lewin, it seems like he's playing on Saturday because he just tweeted
he didn't score against Chester. Hopefully
we spoke about that in the preview as well. In the match preview.
Hopefully he performs a little bit better than he did in the 65 minutes he played in that closed door scrimmage.
Well, not hopefully. Let's just say that. I don't know about you, bro. I don't
for his sake. For his
sake. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't play for our sake.
I mean, because I feel like he played again. Did he play when we played our last time against them? He played, didn't he?
Huh?
Last time we played Everton, Calvert Lewin was playing, wasn't he?
Last time we played Everton, I ripped that game off my head because we lost.
I feel like he played pretty. I feel like he played pretty decent too. Yeah. I remember correctly.
I really want to go back to the last game against Everton. Funny enough, we didn't speak about that.
I just want to know if he was there, if he was in that match, because like now I think about that game. The last time he played.
Yeah, let's not talk about the last game. Let's just say that. Let's talk about the last game against Everton because that's gonna bring back a bit of worrying times for me. I'm in a positive mood right now. It was a 3-0, right?
Yep, it was 3-0. Yep.
Yeah. That's a bit of a worrying time. But look, we're gonna wrap up the show. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. The link for the match preview for the Everton preview, if you want to hop off after this straight to that preview, is posted right now and it will be pinned. So you can click on that to see the Everton preview where we look at the game and talk about Everton, talk about Palace, talk about whether it's time to move up and catch up to Chelsea and all of that. So if you want to go check that out, make sure to click on the pinned comment that has just been posted. But that's it from me and T. Thank you to everyone who's tuning live. Thank you to everyone who's watching a replay. And we really appreciate your support and your time. And until next time, up the Palace.
The Palace.